War crime stream? Yeah, you already know what this is. You know what we're doing here. What happens to you get bored of Mocha, you know? You're just like, yeah, fuck it, dude. Pillar, yeah, this guy brought it to a pillar list. I respect it. Can't hate, honestly, you know, like... The setup is that strong, I guess. I didn't think it was that strong, but apparently it is. Gotta fix my stream on. Ah. What's the purpose of the setup? This is really tanky, so you don't really have to do many mechanics. Good luck, thank you, Binks. I actually haven't tried this setup with Avernic, Trez, or Torva. I've been keeping it on the download, using, you know... Not on the download, but like using, not as efficient items. Dude, people were taking that video so out of context. They're like... Yeah, but like a first cape wouldn't do pillow... Can you think 1 second before you say a sentence? Like, come on. Obviously, you wouldn't do pillowless for your first cape. He's just showing how strong the setup is, but a lot of people don't understand that. My mage levels... I won't alternate, but I'll probably actually like... Well, maybe. I won't alternate for a long period of time, but... I'm doing this for pet hunting, so I'm not gonna like unnecessarily chance, but I am gonna keep the mechanics to a bare minimum. Because I'm lazy. Why Torva instead of Justy? Because Justy has a bit too much negative mage. So you want like high range defense while maintaining good like magic attack. Can I wear Justy top and bottom for this? Not really, no. You can if you have Avernic treads, but, you know, I still wouldn't recommend it, even with Avernic treads. Like, you can get away with Justy, but honestly, I'd rather just do Bandos. Top, bottom. Sorry, Bandos top and Varric skirt. My bad. I bet Gnome's video would have been so much better if he just did like a actual run. Because a lot of people, I think, saw Pillowless and they're like, oh, it's just like a cool run, rather than like an actual like good setup. Even though Pillowless is insane. Yeah, it's not like a bad time either. I was surprised because Inferno videos are super successful, and that one was like comparatively not as successful. Better than Tebow? DPS wise, no, absolutely not. Like, Blowpipe T-Bow is definitely better. But this is definitely like at MT. A lot of trial and error, yeah. I did think about this setup a long time ago, but one of my viewers, let me find his name, Rowdy, I think. He proposed the idea again, and he got me to try it again, basically, and I think it was worth it, because I did need to spend more time cooking it, and it was actually pretty viable. What is that delay? Delay. A Rowdy Despot. Although I didn't like the setup, the original one he proposed, because it had a little bit too much range. Sorry, not enough range defense. But after trying this way, yeah, it's definitely viable. Magus or Lightbearer? I like Magus. I have enough gear that I can use whatever ring I want, to be honest, but... yeah, if you have treads, you can use, like... pretty much the way I see treads is, if you have treads, you can swap out, like, one item. One or two items. Treads is the cheat code, if you own it. Or, you know, like, if you own Ward, you can have Echo Boots. So it's usually, like, you can be one item off. Other than the top and bottom. Top and bottom, you can do whatever. Like, Bando's is pretty much identical. Bando's top, bottom. Well, sorry, Bando's top, Varric's here. I keep saying top, bottom, but it's just a top. What do you think about the possibility of this getting nerfed in some way? Unlucky. I don't know. My bad. You know, this guy's literally safe spotted, I think, right there, and I'm just freezing him for the heck of it. Oh, the chances of a nerf? Pretty low, I'd say. It's not like a super hot topic where like a lot of people are doing it. I think some people understand how like stupid it is and how like overpowered it is. Because you can combine it with actually playing the game correctly, and then, I mean, you just have like an invincible player, right? If you combine it with someone who's actually playing the game, then you have essentially an invincible player. I don't know the bonuses. Basically has less negative mage. Yeah, it's like there's like a sweet spot, you know? Like, if you play the game on top of doing funny meme, well, it's not just funny meme, it's actually like viable. If you actually play the game on top of it, it's like pretty broken. I'm not gonna brute force every single blob for every single stack like I did in the video. I was just showing how strong it is. On the pet hunt runs, I'll probably just do basic 2-pillar stacks at least, because like, why would I tank like potential 40s? But purpose of the dins, in case there's like a blob that spawns like really far, I probably will not use it much, to be honest. But I have extra space, so I was like, why not? You really don't need the dins. I'm not planning on doing pillar rotations with it. How does this silly strategy fare in Coliseum? I think they have better magic levels in defense. And freezing doesn't really do much in there, so... Infliction Gauntlet's a must for this sec? In my opinion, yes. You can do some of the strats without it, for sure. But... you can't, like, freeze meleeers. And it's a lot harder to do, like, the illegal stuff, like freezing mages. Although you don't really freeze mages too much. It's mostly freezing rangers. You can still freeze rangers without confliction gauntlets. The problem is without confliction gauntlets, the setup becomes less consistent, and less consistency means you're probably going to die a lot more often. I probably should... why am I praying mage? See, this is how at empty this strat gets. Your brain just actually melts. Oh my god, 28. How much money do you need to do this? You don't need the Torva top bottom, and you don't need the Evernick treads, so you can drop like these three, and Ancestral can all go down to Virtus. If you're willing to flick, you don't need Eldritch or Kodai, you could just use like a Dragon Hunter wand, so it can be quite a bit cheaper. And then another big one is like, if you're willing to flick. If you're willing to flick, then you can also even do like, what's it called? I need to use... Oops. Probably should have brought them closer so I could just separate them, but I was too lazy to. Torva bottom better than Verex? Yeah, it is. What do you think the role of Dins? It's just for late waves when I'm trying to lure stuff closer. I forgot to use Augury in that. So like here, of course, I can do. I'm just gonna do this. I mean, adding a single flick to the setup just makes it easier, so I'm just gonna do that. That's like way safer than just tanking that 40 for no reason. Don't have to do an extended. Can't believe you tanked it. It was actually a pretty bad example, to be honest. With Justy or Oath, you wouldn't want to use Just this year. You could just use Bando's top and Verex skirt. Oath plate legs is a little bit better than Verex skirt. I wonder. No Justy, because there's too much negative mage. A lot of people don't realize Justy has super negative mage. Dins flicking. I'm just bored. Sometimes this plays like when you do it this way, it gets you bored, so you just end up doing whatever. It's actually so degenerate. Wait, there's actually not even a blob, is there? This way. Oh, there is. What am I doing again? Ah, yes, the Inferno. It is impossible to not get Brainrot. I'm supposed to learn this soon, but I really just want the Cape to save a slot in 540s. Oh, how are you saving a slot, Sia? Bring Justy legs? Well, Tebow's not good against some of the like weaker mobs, though. It's good versus like the Mage. And it's really good versus Zuck. Like, that's the obvious ones. But it's not that good against the weaker mobs. Like, it's not good for the Snake. Not good for the Ranger. Do I care? I don't think I do. Elder Staff needed? Oh, you can squeeze out a KC without. Yeah, you might have to flick, though. You probably have to flick, actually, unless you have, like, Ancestral. Well, you can... Like, you just do this. Like, you just turn off Mystic Vigor when you're fighting this guy. Or 1v1ing, like, a melee. Or a bat. And it's still fine. Impressive. You've survived 2 freezes. Let's see. A 1? Sad. This shit has given me so much joy to see. Oh my god, there's another one. Look, pet, thank you. Oh, he ran through him. That's interesting. Thanks for Coliseum tips. Finally getting to Soul consistently. Hey, congrats, dude, Ryan. Soul hands, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. You'll get hands for like all of like the bosses. Does this have a blob? I don't think we have a blob yet, right? No. For don't get rid, let me take an extra sand food for the comfiness. And just camp Ancestral. Oh, I was planning on bringing Torva legs anyway. Because it does give a Fang max hit when you're in full max. Whereas it doesn't pre-treads. So I do want to wear full max strength, even in 540s. Although I'm not planning on going back to Toa anytime soon. It's because bored. I think we have Blob, so we have to play game. Don't have to play game yet. Hate that you single-handedly raised the prices just this year. Look, it was criminal being below 10 mil though. You gotta admit, that's why that was like a big reason I made the video. That fees are too high. People don't understand. Like, if you guys all as a collective just stopped buying just this year when it's above 10 mil, everyone can have a great time. But no, people gotta ruin it for people. Even the legs are above 10 mil? I know the legs were below 10 for a while. How are Splinters faring? I don't think they're doing too hot still. I think Doom's getting botted too hard. They're at 112. About to play the game yet. Oh wait, I could be doing this. I probably should use Augury. I forget to use Augury. That's probably why I'm taking so much damage. And I finally get a cape. This is pretty cheesy. Scurry's cheese strat? Ooh. Sounds good. I do genuinely have a friend that does not have hands, and I believe you're gonna get up his first game. Yeah. This is a great strategy for the handless. I mean, even if you... I'm probably playing in a way that has, like, the least amount of strategy. But if you actually, like, pay attention and do, like, basic sacks, then shit is pretty free. I think most people can come out of a pillar against a 2-stack and flick the first 2 prayers, and then maybe they can't hold it, as in, like, they can't keep flicking it consistently, but I think it's actually fine. If you can get the first 2, you can actually freeze the ranger. Sorry, I said something very cursed, but yeah. Alright, what am I doing? I gotta lure this guy closer. Well, in this case it doesn't matter, I can just kill things. One technique's pretty easy, makes flicking 2 things easier in the Coliseum. You mean like one-tick flicking, or do you mean something else? That combo plugin that came out when the WoW streamers were trying to learn it was really helpful. I wish I had that back in the day. Snake is tanky. Oh, one-tick alternating? Yeah, one-tick alternating is not too bad. You know, I could have just ran behind the pillar and not tanked the snake hit, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. So learn Coliseum before Doom, pre-boss splinters to Doom. Dude, yeah, Doom kind of fucked with the price of splinters, because there's a lot of splinters that people don't use for the bones, so they just get added to the game. It doesn't sound like a lot, like you don't get a lot, but there's so many more people doing Doom than Coliseum that it is actually a big deal. I mean, yeah, just because Doom's accessible. Tried your tank Coliseum setup and still haven't gotten it down? I mean, you'll get there eventually. Do make sure you're always potted up, though. Like, defense levels matter a lot. So, you know, that's why, like, you want to always have that Divine at 118. Brewing puts you at 120 when you're switching. And then don't forget, like, make sure you're using, like, Piety and stuff. Coliseum is also botted to hell, yeah, but it's not... I think Doom is probably worse, because it adds a lot more splinters to the game. This is more popular. But yeah, I mean, White Kodo should also not have splinters on the table. What are, oh, I'm so sorry, Monoflips, I didn't see. What are some other options you don't have a fortified ward? It gets kind of tough without a fortified. Oh, you can use an arcane, obviously, but that's I'm assuming that's like money, right? If you have every Nick treads, you can use like whatever shield you want, like Crystal Shield, but the setup is kind of tight. Trust me, if we could do this with cheaper gear, I would have shown you already. Well, you could do it with like Bofa. For Zuck, but for the waves itself, it's pretty tight because you want to get like, I would say at least 60 mage offense. It's kind of rough about at least 60 mage offense. Like put on all your gear, and if you're not at least like 50, 60, it's kind of rough. Like I don't want to lie and say, yeah, you can just downgrade all this stuff, because at some point, after a certain amount of downgrades, you have to do something really scary, and that's playing the game. These bats are draining the hell out of me. Elder's necessary to no-flick the whole Inferno. I mean, I could just take Last Brew, I guess, but I liked having at least 5. These bats are ruining my vibe check. I didn't realize my defense level got drained so low too. These bats are tearing me up. Oh, I'm missing gear. If you had to make a choice to upgrade BCP or Torva, honestly, do you have everything else already surrendered? Like, do you already have Avernic Treads and everything? Because the money's not really that useful to be moved into Torva, if I want to be honest with you. Torva is not that great of an upgrade over, like, Bandos. What am I doing? My brain just exploded. Why BCB over just this year? I'm gonna get this question a lot, aren't I? Yeah, I already had to answer it like 10 times. Just this year has too much negative mage. That's why it's not good. You want like simultaneously high defense and not too much negative mage. No, you're good. It's a common question. A 51 mage bonus with full justice? Yeah, like if you have treads, you can still make it work. But it's a lot tighter of a setup. Crystal Shield, fine, even though it's only plus 30 mage. 30 mage can still let you do some things, but you can't freeze meleeers. I wouldn't really freeze meleeers unless you had at least 50. But you can still get away with other stuff, like... Blobs also get, like, a lot worse. You know, it's like a pretty big decrease. I'm trying to click... There you go. I'm actually getting torn up. Actually, walking past weight. It's actually so bad for me. I'm getting so much worse at the game every time I do this. Instead of Shadow, can I bring 2 pieces of crystal? You probably want 3 pieces. You really want the Helm and Anguish. The problem with, yeah, you're gonna have to bring, I would say at least like a 5-way for the Bofa. Slayer Helm better than Justy? If you're on task. I don't really have a reason to kill this guy. Thank you very much for the dono, Sir Undead. I really appreciate it. They can bring 6 brews and 9 restore, something like that. Yeah, you just might have to flick a little bit. 10 restores and 3 with Eldritch is like perfect to have like 1 left, which is nice leeway. But you'll have to experiment around, to be honest. This is a no-flick setup, and it's intended to be a no-flick setup. Which is also kind of crazy because this is BIS or interacting with Twitch chat. 2 Brainrot regens. You probably want 3. Can't click. Game hard. Can I get first cape with this? You can. Ideally, if you were to use it in its best state, you also, hear me out, you do the crazy broken setup, and you also learn to play the game at the same time, and then you become literally invincible. No flick? So, people normally do this. Or they'll like turn off their overheads when they're not fighting something, right? Or they'll turn it on only for the attack. But this setup, I'm just like big chillin'. I just click the monsters and have fun. Normally, you would have to like conserve prayer, and all that jazz. Or if you're bringing like a range setup, you can bring a lot more supplies. Why did I not kill the mage first? Whatever. Anyway. Yeah, like normal people do this. But I'm just here big chillin' because I brought enough prayer and stuff. With a range setup, it's fine to do that actually for a lot of it. Because you don't need to bring like switches. But then you're not tanky and you have to play the game, right? But this setup achieves both purposes of not having to play the game and not flicking. It's kind of it's actually a really hard puzzle to solve. Like, one is flicking, the other one is having to play the game. I guess flicking is playing the game. You guys don't know. It's really hard to find a setup that gets you to not play the game and not flick. Like, if I was willing to flick, right, I could have, like, 4 more brews or, like, a Bofa setup. Lower limit on cost for setup. If you're willing to flick, then, yeah, you could just swap out Shadow for full Bofa. I wouldn't. And you can probably downgrade one of these pieces from this. Oh, on the mage bonuses, right? You could probably downgrade Treads or Ward, but I probably wouldn't downgrade past that. So it is kind of expensive. I'm not gonna lie on that end. Like 400 range defense is sick, yeah. Eldritch 100% necessary. Only if you're going to no flick. A lot of your problems for like downgrading can just be solved by flicking, because then you can just bring more stuff. But a lot of people don't want to flick, so understandable. I don't like flicking. An explorer's ring? Surely use suffering instead, right, Benchmark? Sure. Anyway. You have the orb and not the staff? Dude, that's based, honestly. I respect your iron. I killed it! I spec the wrong thing. I meant to spec the bat. I thought I had my IAC out. Just if Explorer's Ring for Zuck. I actually don't think you need the stamina. Using Augury or Yellow Pyramid? I use Yellow Pyramid for most waves, and then I use Augury on the spookier waves. You use Amethyst arrows instead of Dragon for the Zuck setup? Yeah, absolutely, that's fine. The Zuck setup is very downgradable. Either you take a Bofo or you take like... We have two blobs yet? Yeah, we do. And one blob. Don't need to play the game yet. Oh, Tank Coliseum setup. Sorry. I don't think you one-shot without Dragon. You might. I really don't know. I can use the Dins for this. It'll stand here menacingly while I get the Mage closer. You can just go to wave 1 and see if you one-shot the Major. If you do, then yeah, that's fine. If you use Explorer's Ring to alch the bones from the healers, dude, you have to telegraph to pick them up too. Don't forget. Don't forget. You have to telegraph. That eats into your supply costs of getting the bones from the healers. Oh, unless you're talking about the Jad healers. You're killing Jad healers. Do the Zuck healers drop bones? Surely they do, right? Huge? 12. Eldritch is actually very sad today. It's not really doing much. Oh, that was a Mage hit. Oopsie. If you don't one-shot, it's not worth... No, the whole point of using, like, Venator Bow so you can one-shot the Mage and, like, get frenemies out of the way fast. You think it'd be possible to get the GM time with this if you're on task? Absolutely. Without a doubt. Elder Shield should not get capped up on monster's HP? Nah. It does what it would have hit. It also makes it very strong for, like, Doom. Why am I in full tank here? Sorry, force a habit. Like, I usually get, like, 80 minutes on this, which is kind of crazy. We have a Ranger. We'll use Augury. We're chilling. Do I care about getting dragged out? I don't think I care. He did hit me, though. Deserved. It's okay, you can't be expected to think in the Inferno. I know, it's like mid-game content. Okay, I have a lot of money, so actually I can't say that. The setup costs enough money that I can't say that it's mid-game. If it was like the 300 mil from like the Coliseum, then I could say, yeah, it's like mid-game content. I would have to flick. if I wanted to make it a mid-game setup. Huge? Dude, Eldritch is a waste of time today. Why am I my full tank setup? Force a habit. Ah, it's too tanky. Can't click it. Dude, I can't click. Dude, I love expecting. Ah, shit, man, he's too tanky. Goat. Oops. Punished. 11. What was the reference exactly? It was from X-Pac trying to hit a Nidalee as he was playing Xerath, I think, and he missed every single skill shot. And he's like, "Oh shit, man, she's too tanky." This looks chill, yeah. Hold Prey Mage, hold the line. I wish X-Pac still played. He's retired. Unfortunato. Is time really needed for Zuck? Honestly, I don't think so. But I brought a Din's Bulwark for fun, so. I don't know if the extra weight from the Dins matters. See you tank blobs like that's so troll. I'm actually too lazy to flick them now. There's a problem. We have a real problem. I'm literally too lazy to do the blobs normally now. Huge. I think Echo Boots are honestly fine instead of Shards. You do feel a lot tankier with Echo Boots. My mage levels. No, give them back. Oh, no bite? No bite. How's everything alive? I dragged out the Ranger. That can't be good. Sit there. Wait for me. Ah, this feels illegal. Nice solve, thanks. Ah! Oh, we're safe. Didn't press it in time. Actually viable to heal off him. I have enough bonus. Hey, 44 minutes at 55. It's not that bad. Honestly, I'm just gonna kill him. I don't care. I really shouldn't be this low. Going to a harder wave, but... Put on that dins for this. I splash on that. No shot I splash on that. This is the most inefficient way to do this wave. Don't care. Ah, forgot about those things. Thank you for the reminder, Fweb. Completely forgot. How much lifting is the mage level doing here? Alright, so I'm assuming you're asking because somehow you don't have 99 mage, but you have all the money for all this stuff. Why? It's pretty big. I'm gonna ask why. How do you not have 99 mage? If you're like 2 levels down, I'm sure it's fine, but... If you're like 9 levels down, that's a big deal. You know? And this stuff applies for Zuck, I'm sure it's fine. I don't know. Do I care? I don't think I care. Neither have the money nor the level. Just curious when I do. Don't worry, you'll have the mage level by the time you get that money. Alright, fine. Jagex might just turn off the gauntlets, you never know. True. Not like I would be able to stop them. Is them working exactly as intended? I know, that's a problem. How else would you stop it? I don't know. I'm just chilling here. I don't know, like, it would piss so many people off if it got nerfed. Are you kidding me? I'm in full max mage. No. Oh, you know what? I just realized. I know why my prayer feels a lot lower. It's because I'm an Avernic Treads. So my DPS is a lot higher, but I'll just sub out the stamina and the dins then. I think I'll still be fine. Plus, you know, hitting low on Eldritch. Does one Eldritch Barrage first increase Eldritch spec accuracy? No, they're like different spells. Not how that works. The Echo Boot prayer bonus is actually kind of a W. ICA. Although, I technically don't know. I could be wrong on that. I really don't know. I'm gonna assume not. That would be pretty ridiculous. Oh, 26. Beautiful, beautiful. Don't care. Mage on. Mage prayer is king. I solved, thanks. Yeah, Bando Chestplate and Varrock's Skirt is fine. Varrock's Skirt is the best one, for sure, though. It's got some prayer bonus built in. Don't really need defense levels yet. Do I care? I don't think I care. I already have the CA anyway, so like whatever. They can buy my pillars. No, so rude. Arcane necessary? If you have Avernic Treads, not really. But I would highly recommend it, yeah. You can like take out basically either Treads or Ward. Like you can take down one magic downgrade out of like the not... You don't need the robes obviously, but like out of this setup you can take down one magic upgrade and it'll be fine. I wouldn't take down more than one though. Like if you do Crystal Shield and like Echo Boots, it gets kind of like, not that great. Or I guess it's fine if you want to play the game with it on top, but... See, I'll use Dens for this. Ah! I'm sure it's fine. I care. I don't think I care. What about Ellie instead of Arcane? Yeah, Ellie, if you have like the Treads, is perfectly fine. Don't have Ayak? Yeah, you kind of need Ayak. Sanguinesi doesn't do anything because it's Sanguinesi, unfortunately. Oh, 29. Huge. Ah, booped him. I'll even want more tank. Yeah, I guess you could like, you might be able to sub out two things if you have Ellie, but because you're a lot tankier. I haven't checked like monster DPS calcs as in like how much DPS they do to you though. How many IX special attacks is reasonable on Zuk? I don't really do IX special attacks on him, to be honest. I don't think I care. I'm just gonna kill him. Yeah, Scepter Spec is really good on Zuck, actually, but... You need 50 to 55 bonus for it to be reasonable at heart? Okay. Yeah, there's definitely like a point where it's like, I don't think so. I think I kill this guy, and then... Ah! Punished. Like, for real punished. We got a snake coming. Actually, it bit me twice. Pretty rare. Chanced? Yeah. So? Dude, the whole method is getting chanced. You're just stacking the odds in your favor. The entire run is getting chanced. This blob is kind of annoying. It healed! I'm gonna drag this blob closer. Uh-huh. I'm actually such a degenerate. I put on a Dins for a major. Oops. Sorry. Force a habit. You could just one-tick alternate. Yeah, then I gotta play the game, Medusa. This is a Twitch reading chat simulator. You know, this is ideal. I put on Prey Mage, I click some monsters, and then I read chat. This is ideal. Ideal for the streamer. Can I have enough restore? I think I'll be fine. I could save the... Next time I'll just not bring Bulwark and Stamina. This is kind of like slightly experimental setup. Regen pot? We got 2 minutes on it. Oh, you're just saying it's overpowered, yeah. For sure. Why? Why do I just two-shot him? We do a little funny. Hey! Freeze. Ah, shit. Stop that. Go away. Thanks. Oh, you're such a sucker. I have destacked you now. These supplies enough for the noob? These amount of supplies? No. That's because I memed and brought a bulwark and a stamina. Oh my god, I'm not in full tank here. Spare me. Literally shaking right now. There you go. You would have a higher APM doing scurries? Yeah. Oi. Alright, we'll conserve a little bit of prayer. It is kind of getting tight because I -2'd my supplies. King Eldritch? King Eldritch. Oh, I'm gonna be such a degenerate. Excuse me? I'm in full mage gear. Two. Let's go. Think this method's good for 50 HP? See, I think it is if you actually play the game on top, yeah. Ew. This is a regular stack. Unless... hold on. I might be onto something here. Oh yeah. Thanks, I hate it. How do I avoid playing the game as much as possible? Is this the way? This is the way. Is this solving the Inferno doc? I don't think so. I don't know about that. Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna play the game. I can't. It's too much work. It's too much work to do it again. It's actually at this point, it's actually less work to play the game. It's too much work. There comes a... what the frick, playing the game? It's less 8 PM in this case, okay? Reach the thing you don't like. Sometimes you gotta lock in. I know, as a simple two pillar stack, I couldn't do it. I was losing my mind, freezing the major over and over. It's too shameless. If you're wondering whether you can get GM time, look at this. I'm at 65. Off task. Head empty. Is working. We gave them Ranger's mithril seeds. That would do it actually. That would 100% do it. And I don't know why I just knew he spawned underneath me. I actually could have died onto this Jad right here. I actually realized I wasn't paying attention to whatever he was doing. I got lucky he was ranged. I wasn't paying attention at all. My brain completely shut off from the earlier 60 waves. I shouldn't admit that, but for 100%, I was not paying attention to whatever that one Jad was doing. For a little bit. Hi Reynolds, I have most of the gear, but I need to make a few downgrades. Do you think I could simplify both the Shadow and Eye into a Warp Scepter? I don't think so. Unironically, I got so many questions about downgrades. It's insane. I can't blame people, like, they want to know if it's possible if they're like 50 mil setup or whatever. Well, I mean, it's possible. I mean, Exact did it in his 40 defense. Fluctuation, your YouTube account? No, it's Reynolds foiled. What's worse, buying or doing this method? Buying, for sure. If you think about it, if you buy the cape, someone could say, man, you're not even good enough to cheese the Inferno, and that's it. You're done. You're done. You're not even good enough to cheese the Inferno? You're done. What argument did he say to that? You're done. First try, holy moly. You wasted money so that you can show that you're not good enough to cheese? Oh no! It's so Jover for you if someone finds out you can't even full tank the Inferno. The cave sellers are the ones cheesing. Imagine. Man. What if I just did this? Literally nobody cares if you cheese it. TBH. He melts with the Ranger, yeah. What's he gonna do about it? You could do that with a blowpipe too, though, to be fair. The Ranger's very weak. Yo, nice bulwark, thanks. I carry an extra shield with me, just in case my first one goes down. What's harder, Inferno versus T-Boy Tainted Lost No Items run? I actually have no idea what you're saying. I'll be honest, I have no idea what you said at all. Just like nobody cares if you bought the cape. I think more people care. Not many people care these days, because like there's like a billion people do. I think it's more like a don't say it, you know? If you bought the cape, just don't say anything, don't pretend you're high and mighty, and you're fine, you know? I think that's fair, you know? Like, if you bought the cape, just shut up. Don't say anything about it. Not speccing down Zuck, nah. No. It is a DPS increase, but it's not that. Nobody, like... It's not really worth it, let's say. I personally care if you buy the cape. I'll tell you that right now. Not many people care, but I am a person that does care if you buy your cape. I'd rather you cheese it than buy it. TBH. Because at least you click the boss yourself. No way I didn't proc there. I don't want to get the most dog shit proc like I did in my video and then say it was a good proc, so... Is it worth to throw specs? Maybe if it's like your very first kill. No way. Oh my god. This is so cringe, bro. Oi! I don't know. I'm not too confident in the IAC range. Any reason not to throw out 2? I wonder if just shadowing is more DPS. It might be. I know that IAC doesn't really do much, though. I'm pretty sure it's just better to shadow. I feel like blowpipe is superior to oh, it's not. You don't need to feel. It is 100% better. The only way IAC can be better is if you have no hands and you can't do a proper blowpipe walk. That one's not even debatable. IAC is not good versus healers compared to blowpipe. Maybe it's better than like a one-way blowpipe, I guess, if you want to say that. It's probably better than like a one-way blowpipe. Probably is worse than a 3-way blowpipe or a 2-way with a range pot. Don't worry, I won't be that degenerate. Any reason you didn't put an arcane on during spawns? Did I not? Did I forget? Okay. Come on! No, lucky. You're not lucky. 75 minutes, not bad. Actually, it was still fine. I actually didn't have to flick, surprisingly. But I'll probably bank the Dins and the stamina. They were funny for memes, but they weren't that useful. Would both a switch make sense? Not if you have a shadow, but yeah, of course, like if that's your best suck weapon, then yeah, for sure. I did calc Ayak with full milk, and if you full milk it is identical to Bofa. But I swear to God, if you full milk it and you have full, that's with Ancestral Heart, and if you full milk and you have Ancestral Heart, you're getting reported. Let's see. I want to make the setup look nice too. Having an aesthetic setup is a huge W if you ask me. You guys agree with that? Like having a aesthetically looking setup is massive W. 111k sand fuse? Yeah, an 80k bruise. What can you do about it? Oh my god, I'm gearing up for Mocha. I've lost it. Can you show a T-bow setup run if you don't have Shadow? It's actually not much different than what I brought Ruby. So you want to just bank all these three. Bank the Accursed Scepter and you just bring the T-bow. A 4 or 5-way T-bow with a range pot. Last setup, I had a Stamina and a Bulwark. You obviously don't bring those. So yeah, you would probably bank 1 Brew, 1 Restore, and then bring the T-bow setup. For the aesthetics, you need another Twisted Kit too. Yeah, and you know, I won't lie, I do need the Twisted Kits. You're right about that. Oh, sorry, Force of Habit, Praying Mage. 1! No. Would both of you okay? For Zuck, yeah. Just the thing about using a Bofa for Zuck is just you have to flick a little bit in the beginning, you know? Like, this is a no-flick setup, so I'm just chilling, chatting up. But if you're bringing Bofa, T-bow, and like you're doing waves a little bit slower than I am, because maybe you're not as experienced with like your target priority, then you're probably gonna... It's too tanky. Then you're probably gonna want to bring... If you're gonna use a Bofa, you're probably gonna, you know, want some extra stuff. Also, like, I'm confident going in to Zuck with like 2 brews, you know? Not everyone's confident doing 2 brew on a Zuck. Ice Spec not better than the Scepter? No, it's actually much worse. It depends on every monster. Sometimes the Eye is better, sometimes the Scepter is better. The Scepter in this case is much better. Inferno budget CA. Walk in with like 2 bill worth of gear and be like, yeah, it's budget. Finish Offtask 75 minutes, budget. Better to use Ward or Ellie. I think Ward, but Ellie's honestly perfectly fine. If you're doing the 50 HP CA, I think I'd rather do Ellie. Can Oakplate be used? The legs can, but not the top. The top is no bueno. You want to use BCP instead. Is this pro to over? No, range is better, DPS wise and everything, speed, all that stuff. But this is definitely more relaxed. I'm just chilling, praying ranged, praying mage. Sorry. Oh my god, never pray range. Pray range, you die instantly. I'm a GM player trying to figure out if this is for QL for what. Oh yeah, it's good stream content. I can just chill, talk chat, get like 80-minute off-task capes, 75 minutes in the case of the last one. I'm not even I definitely do not speedrun Inferno. My PB is 65 minutes from like 8 years ago. For first cape, you think Eye of Ayak is feasible? Feasible? You mean like, as in, can you kill Zuck with it? You can, if you milk all the specs and you bring in a Cursed Scepter. But it's so bad, it's crazy. I would not recommend. Why did I? Remember? It's weaker than an Armadillo crossbow, like back in the day. I don't recommend it. Like, even full-milked Ayak, a Cursed Scepter, unless you hit like 150 on your Ayak, it's gonna be worse than a Bofa. I sold my Mac for Max Tank. Mage hope it doesn't get nerfed. You gotta hurry. You gotta at least until Wednesday's tomorrow. Oh shit. Good luck. I hope it does not get nerfed before you get your cape. But at the same time, I kind of do hope it gets nerfed at some point. This does feel really illegal. I feel bad if it gets nerfed for like some weird guy that actually uses setup though. Having trouble getting enough mage bonus of LA. Yeah, it's tough to balance all the gear. Like, you can downgrade 1 or 2 pieces, but definitely rough. Oh yeah, Coach, I saw your message, sorry. It got flagged because for some reason Ayak is like a slur or something. Or somehow offensive. Not sure. But yeah, it's possible, don't recommend. Do not recommend. Ayak is terrible for Zuck. A lot worse than Bofa. Which is like the next best, like third best option, I guess. Crystal Shield and Eternals. I mean, I guess that's fine if you're playing the game. But you're a lot less tanky than I am. But you're still pretty tanky. Don't get me wrong. As long as you have Confliction Gauntlets, I guess, it's still viable. You probably won't be able to not play the entire game. You probably have to play the game a little bit. Disable it in the Inferno? That would be extremely cringe. No shot they do that. That would be so specific. They could do the no plate armor thing, that would be fair. And then you could just do this with Crystal and you still kind of have to play the game a little bit. But then again, the setup is expensive that I can see just because of the fact that the setup is a little expensive, they wouldn't do it. Do you guys remember when the Inferno was released? People were like, if you don't have a T-bow, you can't feasibly do it. And that was like the opinion for a really long time. To some extent, that is still... Like, Bofa is now like, yeah, Bofa is the one if you want to play the game. And if you don't want to play the game, you're going to have to fork up mega rare money. How they nerf it in your opinion? I think if you were to nerf Confliction Gauntlets, just best not to let them be used with, I would say sub 100 mage attack bonus. Surely, if you have Confliction Gauntlets, you have over 100 Mage bonus for a normal Mage setup. It would still be very strong if you like made a tank setup that's like on the verge, but it wouldn't be as. It probably gets over all the AFK things, like the hurdles of AFK. It prevents people from making an AFK setup like these. Not literally AFK. You guys know, RuneScape players don't actually use AFK setup as AFK. You know what I mean? I shouldn't be able to just look away from my screen and just like, yap to Twitch and YouTube while fighting like 2 blobs in a major. I should probably have to look at my screen. The one thing that came out when Blowpipe was full power. True, but with Masori is actually more deep. Like the current day setup is actually more DPS than it was before. Like Armadillo was so trash, and we didn't have Quiver either, or Zaret Van Braces, or Avernic Treads. These days, the max setup is actually more DPS than it was before with pre-nerf Blowpipe. I'm yet to get Inferno. Is this super easy? I don't want to ruin the accomplishment. Yeah, this is definitely the easier mode of it. You won't learn much, though, and you will be worse at the game. And I think I'm already worse at the game by doing this setup, but absolutely it is viable in the sense that it works. If you actually learn to play the game and use the setup on top, though, you're probably unkillable. So it is still easier. If you want to go that route, but to be honest, a lot of people who go this setup aren't looking to like learn too much. That's the problem. You're not gonna find many people who want to, I guess, like learn the content and are running this setup. This setup is good though. Like, if I actually played the game and used this setup, I'd be unkillable. It's gonna be very hard to find an audience that's willing to do both, though. Think you want to actually learn it? Yeah. I mean, you can learn it with the setup, but you're gonna be tempted to brute force at some point. Maybe do this after. Yeah. I mean, if it's too difficult and you're getting demotivated, I'd bring in the setup if you start getting demotivated. Because whatever gets you to stay in the Inferno is best. If that makes sense. If you're like getting 2-shot and you feel like you're stuck, brick walled, then yeah, maybe take out the tank setup so you can keep going. Feels like a chore learning it is. I enjoy it, but like I was hard stuck like when Doom came out, I was hard stuck at wave 8 for a really long time, like not being able to beat wave 8. But I still found it fun, even though I was just like dying for like 3 hours straight. Could you swap Ward and Ellie for Ellie and Justy Helmet for Ancestral Hats to get the damage reduction from Ellie and keep magic bonus? You probably can, Ryan. I don't know what your mage bonus and range defense are, though. It might be considerably worse. Damage reduction will help, but you're going to get hit a lot more still. I think I accidentally played the game there. Accounts are ruined. I'll pull up my equipment stats so you can see my stats, Ryan. Let me just show it. These are my equipment stats in max. I would say if you fall below like 340, you can't brute force, but you can still play the game. Magic bonus should be at least 50, ideally 65 plus, 60 plus. But bare minimum 50. Try to keep range above 340. At like 300, you're just gonna have to learn the content, which is still fine. Like, you know, you have a safety net that you didn't have before. Disgusting human behavior right there. It's too tanky. It's too tanky. Would Slayer Helmet and Task ruin this Chi setup? No, it'd be the same thing. You would just wear Slayer Helmet instead of just this year. You might need to play the game a little bit. But you would kill things so much faster that you also are fine. You probably can't tank as long. But since you just kill things faster, like blobs will be no problem. Oh my god, I was expecting bloblets to come out of a ranger. Brain fried. Probably use Augury, huh? I should be rotating to the other side of the pillar, but at the same time, or flicking. Oh, am I gonna die? Let's see it, let's see it. Yes, let's go. I deserved it. I didn't want to click yellow. I want to see it. Let's just go back in. I'm very happy that I died, to be honest. It feels good to know that the setup is not completely invincible. It is very strong, but it is good to see sometimes. It gives me a little bit of hope for the game. I could have just clicked brew there. Like you saw me looking at my def in real time. Is there a substitute for ward? Arcane and Crystal Shield. If you're going down to Crystal Shield though, like it's gonna get rough. Because then it's gonna be hard. Like what are you gonna do? Downgrade your treads to an Echo Boot? It's a pretty sensitive setup. Weapon under your ancestral? A Curse Scepter for Zuck. What's the purpose of the setup? So you can pray Mage for most of the waves and just chill. You barely take damage. It is pretty hard to die, the setup. You kind of have to go out of your way to die. Like I did. And get unlucky. I did the math, and the Ranger has, I believe, 16% chance to hit you. Or 16 or 15, I think 16. So I took whatever 16% is by 2. Plus it high rolled, you know, like the chance of you actually dying is really low. Big? 8. Ward's pretty important. Maybe you can get away with Magus and Crystal Shield. Yeah, you could probably downgrade the the Magus, or the Crystal Shield, or like like one item out of the Mage items. You could probably downgrade one item. That's like the way to see it. If you downgrade 2 items, it's gonna be rough. Well, it won't be rough. You'll just have to play the game. It's a better way to see it. You're just gonna have to play the game. At least for like blobs. And like 2 stacks. You have to take your hand off the mouse to tie. I could have just clicked yellow anytime during that def. But I didn't feel like it. I'd rather just see if I die or not. See, if I had a bulwark, I would have lived there. I'm just saying. I did calc Bulwark. Bulwark is pretty crazy. Bulwark, shave down like 2 or 3% chance to get hit, which doesn't sound like much, but when you're at 16%, like, the closer you get to 0%, the crazier it gets. You take like 25% less damage just putting on the Bulwark. Outplay viable for this? The legs are, but not the chest. It's not much of an improvement over Verax, so I think a lot of people would prefer the Verax prayer bonus. Second best ring if you don't have DT2, Suffering. Yeah, I would go Suffering. Or third downgrade would be Ring of the Gods. Have you tried this sort of setup in a Fire Cape? I'm pretty sure you could just AFK in ranged, I'll be honest. I'm pretty sure if you just wear full Masori and Blowpie Spec of a Light Bearer, you can just AFK that. Maybe we're like Justy Legs for the Melior. In case we're talking about not safe spotting the Melior. In full Justy work? Not really. You can do it if you have, what's it called? Full max mage otherwise. So if you have this exact setup and use Justy, it's fine. But you won't be able to freeze melees as much. There's like certain numbers you gotta reach Steel Bar. Like it'll work. I think you still get about 40 or 30 mage bonus with Justy. Maybe in the 50s, but that's a big difference compared to like the 80s that we're in. Vertus Bottoms, Echo Boots, and Suffering will get you 344 range and 67 mage attack. That's not bad, yeah. You are going to take quite a bit more damage, though. 347 is a pretty big difference between 380. But yeah, that's serviceable. Losing a cult is so sad, though. I would personally not drop a cult. A cult's pretty important to essentially DPS check the blobs. What are you using a Curceptor spec on? Zuck. That's so cringe that I could freeze him. It gets me every time I freeze him. Ooh, 2 hits in a row. I forgot what the calc is for blob hitting me. It's not that good. Sub 10%. How would I just set up for prayer if I don't have Eldritch? Minus like 2 brews. And just have more restore, I guess? Assuming you have everything else the same. Or just flick. Or don't use the Piss Pyramid when you're like... Alright, let's say in this example. Just don't use the Piss Pyramid. When I'm 1v1ing this guy and nothing else is going on, and I'm just gonna... like, if I'm 1v1ing this guy, or a bat, or a ranger, just don't use the Piss Pyramid. That could help too. It'll save you about like another like 3 doses. He's too tanky, I can't freeze him. There you go. He's been frozen. It's a good idea to take a break or keep tackling it. I'll be honest, if you think you're in a brick wall, you should take a break. The only way you can get yourself out of a brick wall is to just believe you're not in one. Just like have a massive ego like I do and be like, you know, I'll get it eventually no matter what I do. Because when you lose confidence in your gameplay, it just destroys everything. Ow. Probably should use Augury for 2 blobs, huh? Still Bando's top Verex skirt? No, I'm using Torva. Because I own Torva, so I'm gonna use it. For video purposes, I try to keep it, like, reasonably budget, as I think the setup is viable enough to handle. Ah! Unlucky. Hear me out. Keep your setup exactly the same, but swap Mage Cape for Infernal Cape. 66 Mage bonus and 390 range defense. Nah, that ratio's not that great. Nah. I think I'd value, like, 1 range defense to, like, 4 or 5 Mage accuracy. That ratio's like 1 to 1. Any upgrade between the Bandos, top, Verex, skirt, and Torva? Oath plate legs for the skirt is tankier, but you lose prayer bonus, so that's more preference. So if you don't mind flicking a little bit, or you feel like you're already fine on prayer, you can use oath plate legs. Top, I don't think there's any upgrade from going from Bandos into Torva. The upgrades are mostly just like your mage gear. Surprisingly, like the Bandos kind of does everything. Yo, Mocha looks different. I know. The floor is still lava, though. Dude, my Elder's is broken tonight. Doesn't want to roll. I actually have enough brew that I can just brew every single heart that comes up. Def 79. I mean, 69. I played the game correctly. Couldn't help getting that first Ayak in with Ancestral. The setup is sensitive, yeah. It depends what you swap. Like, the tank pieces are pretty fine. You know, like, the top and bottom are fine. Can I reach him here with Shadow? I think I can. But yeah, for sure, like, if you swap out the Mage, it gets rough. 1 piece is fine. But swap 2 is over. But to be fair, it is a power creep setup, so you do expect it to be pretty sensitive. It comes with, like, all the good gear, you know? Yeah, Ward for Ellie. The Ward for Ellie is passable, just because, like, it's a lot of extra tankiness. Gauntlet nerfs? Maybe just remove them working with plate armor. I think that would be like acceptable. It wouldn't fix the issue at Armadillo where they're wearing full Missouri and AFKing her. But at least there you have to combo eat to live a lot of time. I think like a catch-all would be you need, let's say, I could die here, I'm gonna just let it happen if it does. Let's say you need like 100 accuracy for it to work. I think that would be like the most reasonable if they were to go for a nerf. This is pretty spooky. Is it? Nothing happened to me. Can I mage in full Torva? Of a shadow? Of course I can. Why wouldn't I be able to? That's not even Confliction Gauntlet. That's just because I have all this mage bonus that is allowed. Treads, like these 3 items, let that happen. Not Warfring Ellie. I think Ward is slightly better than Ellie, but Ellie is perfectly fine if you have treads to make up for the mage bonus. Can't tell if No Monkey has been flaming you or praising you. No, he's not flaming me, don't worry. I know as well as he does that this setup is extremely illegal. It requires no skill to play. It's still a good setup. Don't worry, it's definitely not disrespect. I just blood barraged him. For sure, I know No Monkey's not like flaming. He knows I'm like I can do the Inferno correctly, and I've had the cape for a really long time. I'm just a meme nerd, okay? Why is the Yellow Pyramid so good? Because you get a lot of accuracy, you have the same max hit, and it drains half the prayer. It is real nice. You can't get away with like... Plus it comes with 5 defense. 5% defense. And it's a defense stacking setup, so it's pretty important actually. If I don't have Torva, I should use Oath Legs and BCP, yeah. Or Varrock Skirt and BCP. Yield Eldritch? 0! Alright, you know what? Understandable, I am a tank here. Pretty sure my accuracy is still in the 90%. I should probably use Augury because there's Ranger. I think it's better to freeze the Ayak. Alright. The memester is complete. The D-stack. Disgusting D-stacker. Ayak has better accuracy? Yeah. I keep forgetting that. Or freezes. That's why a manual ice barrage, I guess. Ow. Ow. I did the blob correctly by accident. It's so over. The streamer's a fraud. So washed. Doesn't even know how to cheese. I either flick all 6 prayers or 0. I can completely understand that, to be honest. It's a very rough feeling. Every time I die at wave 8, it's because I just miss like 3 prayers in a row and get fucking blasted. It's funny, Gnome just made a video that he does not like how Mocha is, hey, you mess up your prayers, you get 2-shot. And his next video is abusing defense. Seeing what happens. How many runs are you're gonna do? Just probably this this one and I'm done for the night. I do need to go to sleep for work. Actually, I could probably do one more because I slept like 4 hours already. Now that I think about it. I actually don't mind going to sleep kind of late today. But we'll see. I should just run back here and kill it from a safe spot. I don't want to move. Moving is a lot of work. Get your sleep. I'll be fine. A little filthy D-stacker right here. Anything to not have to alternate. Lowest clicks possible. Why did I freeze him? He's already safe spotted. You guys know why. It's to show him who's boss. I'm just gonna run past it. Huge Eldritch. Huge Eldritch. Any plans to revisit Morto? Any more swarming examples? I don't plan on doing any at the moment. My most recent 530s are probably the best example. I don't think I would change anything from what I was doing in those 530s, other than just having full Toro and Avernic treads. I think everything else would be the same. Is this possible because of the gloves? Pretty much, yeah, Janksa. Sorry, I didn't see your other message. No, go away. Not my magic levels. Hate from No Monkey? He's not hating, relax. He's saying thanks, I hate it, you know, like, that's understandable. I made a curse setup that cheeses the content that he loves. Honestly, I hate it too. You know? It doesn't mean he's blaming me. Don't worry, no matter what happens, I will always be looking to cheese content. I can't stop, it's too fun. I like doing the content correctly and then I find every way to cheese it. It's more fun. I've been doing Tank Coliseum ever since that shit came out. In this setup will work for Barrows? I don't know. It's kind of hard content. You think this would be a good strat for the wasn't even close yet? I think it actually is an insanely good strat. If you pair it with an Elysian and try to play the game properly. Yes, I think it'd be amazing. Why not full Justy? A bit too much negative mage for it to be viable. If you're gonna just AFK blobs like this, Justy is not as good because you have too much negative mage. So there's like a balance you want to reach of high range defense and AFK. AFK tankiness, you know? Do I get ranged there? Damage. I did not have my tank gear on. I enjoyed Coliseum, did not enjoy Inferno. Understandable. I don't really enjoy Inferno that much either, to be honest. I'm just having more fun because I'm cheesing it, and I get to just talk to chat. If I actually had to like pay attention and like alternate flick, I probably wouldn't enjoy it. But that's also because I'm not really into speedrunning. Maybe if I was into like speedrunning, I would enjoy it. I do really like chill melee Coliseum, honestly. It's really fun. Because you still have to kind of do the solves, unless you're like stack separating everything. So it's still kind of fun. One tick alternating is too boring for me. A simple 2-stack, I don't mind. Also, Zuck is not as interesting of a boss. Oops. Soul is like in such a fun fight. I would probably get bored of Soul after a while too, because he's fully telegraphed. But he's at least more fun than Zuck by a lot. $16, not bad. People enjoy the waves more on Inferno though. for speedrunning. But I'm actually the opposite because I don't speedrun. For a non-speedrunner, Coliseum waves are more interesting. I think they make a wave-based challenge for the new cape. I'm gonna guess yes, but I'm not sure how that will be received. I think people are kind of bored of wave-based. But yes, I do think they would do it. Just because it's like tradition. I should probably plug in my mouse. I don't want it dying at Zuck. I don't mind if it dies in the waves, but probably don't need a mouse. Ooh. You need it for Zuck though and Chads. Yeah, I do like shorter challenges. Like, imagine I could just hop into Mocha 7 to start. Oh, that'd be so fun. That would be ideal. Fine. I'll play the game. What runline plugins would you recommend for first-time Inferno? I don't really know. I just use Entity Hider and NPC indicators, really. I don't use too much more. Other than like the standard stuff everyone usually has already on. Oh, one shot. Yo, how's it going, Lag McGee? Usually lurking at YouTube streams, but spreading the love over here. Thank you very much. Ow. Actually getting torn up. Oh, I didn't get frozen there. Interesting. Oh, did I freeze something else maybe? That's what it was. Reynold, look what you started. Yeah. I'm a villain. Can't stop me. I'll be brewed down for a bit. Maybe I should bring one Forgotten Brew. Does lower defense though. Actually, nah. I don't really brew enough that it matters. It is what it is. It is bound to happen. Noma approved this method? Yeah. I think a lot of people, for some reason, thought he was hating on the method. He was saying, like, it's like a thanks I hate it thing, you know? This shouldn't work, but it is, kind of thing. Oh my god, I am not wearing tank armor. And I just tanked like 5 blobs. I will not complain. I will not complain. Huge for the account. Huge for the account. New meta for learners? Okay, it could be new meta if you actually decide to learn. You're using the word learner like they're gonna learn the Inferno. See, there might be an issue there, because I don't think many people who do this way are planning to learn shit. But if they actually did the mechanics with this setup, it would probably be insanely good. There is potentially a subset of audience who does plan on learning the Inferno, but wants the easiest safety net they can possibly get their hands on. This could be it. No Justy? Yeah, you don't want to use Justice here, Tribal Chef, because you get too low mage accuracy. Just chomping my pillow right there. I froze him too. Interesting. How many times we gotta teach you this lesson, old man? Torf, Oath, and Bandos would be better? Torva, Oath, and Bandos, yeah, exactly. Not Oath Plate Top. Not the Oath Plate Top, though. Oath Plate Legs is fine. Oath Plate Helm, probably not. I just don't need to do anything with these guys. There's actually less APM just to do this. Lowest APM is the goal. Anxiety Scepter. First time Inferno. You probably want to watch guides like Exact, No Monkey, and play properly. I'm probably not the greatest person to ask about tips to play properly, as you've seen. Like, I can teach you some basic solves, but to be honest, I forgot a lot of, like, what you should be doing with, like, a bat in front and, like, a basic 2 solve. I've kind of forgotten everything. My brain has been melted by this method entirely. Ah, no! Tell me I didn't do myself dirty. I did myself dirty. D-stack tech. Anyway. PB with this method, 75 minutes, 76 minutes off task. It was last run, Squiggly, I got 76 minutes with it. It's actually not a slow method, surprisingly. Oh, punch? No punch. Oh yeah, Adicon. First Cape Friday is really good. FCF. Possible to do GM time with this? On task, 100,000% Squiggly. It's not even close. I'm here big chillin'. And I got 76 minutes off task. On task, 1,000%. Time for boosting the market. You are welcome. Oops. That's a bat. Eldritch worth it for first scape? If you have one, yeah, I would say so. Oh, 20 prayer points. Actually, it depends. Are you playing the game properly? If you are playing the game properly, flicking, all that fun stuff, once you get to the melee waves, no. Whatever I said about that, I'm gonna change my mind. The current strat for learners of sitting 100% spec, saving it for 2 blowpipe specs for the snake, I think is superior. But it depends if you're like willing to flick, you know, like. I wanna load this mage a bit closer. Do I care actually? This blob is kind of rolling his percentages on me. It's like 6%, he's rolled it twice already. This is like the easiest off-tick I've ever seen in my life. Then again, do I care? Fine, I'll click the yellow potion. I'm running the 50s. %6 chance? Yeah. I don't know what the exact percent is. I know it's below 10. So he was getting pretty lucky. This blob was getting pretty lucky. Let me look at the DPS calculator. I know it's sub 10. The Ranger has 16% though. Like the big Ranger. One of my Earth that I just witnessed, and why did it work? It just does. It just do. You're witnessing the birth of a monster. I actually don't think I care. I'm just gonna do this. I am unpotted though, so this does kind of ruin the DPS check quite a bit. But you know what? My mouse is, in fact, stationary. Did I win? What the fuck is a kilometer? Is that like the version of that is how I feel about the blob. What the fuck is a blob? No sane human runs out for that, but I do. How do I avoid playing the game? Does this work? I don't think this works. Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way that worked. Ah! Tanked? Easy. We'll do anything but play the game. We'll do anything. Alright, you know what? This is kind of spooky. I'll drink yellow. I'm actually devious mastermind on finding out ways to avoid playing the game. Might be over. I could just click yellow and I don't want to. I kind of like the echo boots more, I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna need a whole new document for Reynold's degeneracy? Yeah. You need to start using the other pillar as your primary pillar with this other strat. You think so? I'm like committed to the bit of not playing the game. I was using Augury the whole time there, right? Or did I switch to Piss Pyramid? I need to refine the strat to the... Would Din's help? It actually would have there. It's funnier if we use Sao. Din's actually would have helped there. With the not playing the game tech? Actually would have, yeah. You're right. I'm gonna go back to what I had before. I will be continuing not to play the game. I'll do another one. Pushing the limit of the setup, yeah. Listen, this is what testing really is. You guys, when I did the first run, I was like, I'm not tanky enough, I'm not doing enough damage. You gotta like keep going at it until you figure out what works. Nothing's for free. Glorp, how's it going, Lemon Trees? Wondering what Gnome's up to. Is he doing his hardcore right now? The Dins, honestly, the Dins is better just to have in the inventory. Boots, yeah, I kind of liked having Echo Boots a little bit more, actually. The range defense was nice, but this is definitely way faster to have the Avernix. Ellie, too much of a attack damage reduction. It's probably fine with the setup I have, to be honest, Soul Chef. Because I'll still be in the 50s, I think, right? Yeah, I'll still be in the 50s. 55, I think. So I think in my particular case, it's fine. In fact, probably better for these sub-50s damage CA. Yeah, like if I downgrade to crystal bonus, it's kind of whack. A 1, yeah, Yoken. I feel like without Trez and Eladin is well, I think 1 is fine. Like having 1 of the 2 is fine. It is kind of rough missing both though. I tried a few setups without it, and it kind of felt ass for the blob. Ellie might be better at the very top end. You won't be able to freeze mages, so Ward is better for pillarless. I think Ward is better for pillarless, because you can freeze mages, which is really funny. Ellie might be better for like casual AFKing. Because although you still don't take much damage, rare occasions, like, because obviously the entire method is you getting chanced, you'll like get hit like massive big numbers. Like I think I got hit 40 and like a lot of 20s in the last step right there. Although Dins is actually the same thing. If you just bring Dins instead of that. Prayer points? I'll take it. How important is magic actually? It's pretty important. I actually don't think freezing melees matters too much, but it matters a lot for the IAC. That's the thing. IAC DPS is like pretty lacking without. Yeah, only 30. Yeah, it's a very big difference going down to like 30 below 50. What are we doing right now? Why wearing Torva not just this year? Just this year's too much negative mage. I do freeze melees now and again though, so I'm not gonna say I don't use it. I absolutely use it. Like, I don't need to hear because I could safe spot it, but... Oh, 21. Masori better at Delve? I think it's preference for super deep Delve. I'll be honest, I don't really know. I'm gonna guess Void is better for casual runs. AKA, if you had to ask, it's probably better to use Void. But I don't know the exact reasons on why Masori is better. See, I made the mistake of not being in my tank gear 100% of the time. That's the only thing I took away from taking that 24. What's your PB with Mage Tank? 75 minutes. Optimal strat for South Pillar. That's a good question. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna use the South Pillar for the heck of it. How the hell did I freeze this melee? I'm gonna use the South Pillar after this. Definitely don't use Oath Top, though. Oath Legs is fine. Oath Top is terrible. Wait, why did I use this pillar? I said we use South. Dang it. Sorry, couldn't remember. Can Iron still Brainrot with Shadow and no Nightmare Staff or Bulwark? You'll have to Brainrot in some ways, but can't Brainrot in every way. You'll have to, unfortunately, probably Prayer Flick in the early waves. Or not use Mystic Vigor on like random stuff like this. Alright, we're gonna go run it south. We now live there. Terrible game. We're gonna go south for the memes. We live there. Wait, there's nothing to do on this wave. You need Ayak? Yeah, I would not really do to set up with like a Sank. Man, this looks kind of crazy, yeah. We're being really degenerate. I mean, I've died twice testing the limits, so we brought the Bulwark back so we can increase our limits. Oh my god. I literally cannot stop praying Mage. Someone help. I'm logged in as Zuck. I'm tired and going to wait for tomorrow. I think if they updated, they could restart it for me. It could. I don't think it would though, but yeah, definitely use the Zuck simulator. Zuck simulator is pretty good actually. Did not expect this accuracy. I know it's so crazy when you're in like max melee gear and you're just blasting. All right, anything to not play the game. All right. Didn't 105 minutes. On task, but use a 5-way T-bow switch and without offensive prayer. Wait, without offensive prayer is pretty crazy. Mad lad. Definitely add in like at least Piss Pyramid, right? I wonder if I do this. Like, pretend he's like a Calphite Queen. Now do... I don't even care. CBA. This got drained like 3 magic levels. That was not worth it. This is so goofy. It looks so goofy. Alright. Like the Turael better with the Mage bonus? Yeah. The less negative Mage bonus is so nice. Ah, wrong side. Wait, it's not the wrong side. I just need to make him. Did I just pray Mage in full Ancestral? Well, everything's fine. Alright, fine. Sunfire Spencer's are 85 GP, now they're 125. The Reynold method is fixing the economy. It probably isn't. It's probably just speculation. I'm sorry to say it, but I don't think that video had enough of an effect. Item is too high quantity. How much KC? No, we've just been memeing around. We only have one. Mostly testing the limits of the setup right now. I've been running around with Dins in the beginning and trying to KQ run this guy. I mean, if I get like, let's say 5,000 people to get their first quiver, it is a pretty noticeable impact, but I don't think we're there yet. I don't think I'm gonna guess we probably haven't gotten 5,000 people their quiver off that video yet. That's a little over 10%, which I don't think happened. Oh wait, it says range stuff. As much as my ego would like to say I probably got 10%, I think that's a number I don't think I'm there yet. I'm gonna guess it's over 3,000. If I give it another week, we'll be over 3,000. But I don't know. The second let you get to the wave 63, yo, I'm telling you, tech is crazy. If you actually play the game on top, insane. Pretty ranged before I die. You know, that's probably the most worst solve I could have come up with. That was... I don't think there was actually a worse solve I could have done. It's like... whatever Magnus Carlsen came up with, I did the opposite. I could have literally just stood still and it would have been a better solve. Like just hiding from the blob. I exposed myself to all three monsters for an extended period of time. Alright, no more South Pillar. Bit too mean. I guess I still have to do Zuck. Sans Neiman Beats. No. No. Dude, that... I still remember that time. Soakers. Honestly, Zuck is an easy fight compared to Soldo. He's just nervous. What if this method is really good at removing nerves? Because you just know the waves are free. Hear me out. Hear me out. You remove the nerves of Zuck because you know the waves are free. It's just like fight caves. I love these orc arms. Thank you very much. Oh, I thought that... Oh my god, I'm losing my mind. This method. I was like, oh, that's a kill. And it's like, it's not a revive that. Yeah, the gear is pretty hard for irons. You have leeway of one item, but that's not that great. No, I drank it. Oh hell yeah, let's do some Denny B tech. Alright, there's still some human in me. I alternated for a set, and I didn't mean to. Like, I just had to, you know? I couldn't stop myself from playing the game properly. There's still a little bit of human left in me as I do this. Degenerate D-stack. There's not even a mage on this wave. But I had to. I'm scared of mages. You could definitely skip the arcane, but yeah. I don't think the Mocha items are that hard of a grind. Even including the treads. And you can use Echo Boots actually instead of the treads as well. Actually no, if you lose treads you'll have to bring the arcane. So that one's pretty hard for irons. I suppose they can do like a mage bottom or a mage hat, and they'll be partially tanky, but they won't be able to brute force blobs. I suppose that could also work. They have to partially play the game. Still better than having to play the entire game. Also, Batchy, sorry I didn't see your message. Congratulations on the quiver. I did this and I felt I was playing Lee's brain off the entire ways. Yo, it's crazy actually how effective it is. It's disgusting. I've never felt more immoral making a video, which made it all the more satisfying. The bat hit me twice? What are the odds? Surely rarer than Avernic Treads. $50-50. You got me there. Oh my. Why did I hit the bat? He's just gonna res. No! I'm wasting my time. Why not just issue your body and legs? Too much negative mage bonus for the setup. You gotta be tanky with enough mage bonus for it to work. Two boots, two eyes, not bad. Congratulations, Umph. You can use Bando's chestplate and Varric's skirt though. Very, very good downgrades. Extremely competitive. The 4 times the charm. 4 times charm. Think you get GM time in this setup? I don't think I'm good enough to do it off task, Eric. But for sure on task, I think I can one and done it. I already got 75 minutes with the setup on my last kill count. I'd rather not kill this guy and have to kill him again. A little chillier. Yeah. Varric's skirt with BCB is very, very close. You actually even get more prayer bonus, so some people might even prefer using the Varric skirt over the Torva legs. Oath plate legs better than Varric skirt. Defensive wise, yes, but you miss out on some prayer bonus. If you don't Justy Helm, Torek Helm has better range defense than Justy. Does it really? That's crazy. But yeah, prayer bonus is pretty nice, pretty important to get to if you're looking to like no flick. That's good information though. Very, very good shout on the Torak Helm. We're making it out of barrels with this one. Overbody and Eldritch shouldn't make much of a difference. No. Do you have Eladin's Ward though? On an Iron? That's crazy. I'm not sure if he's ranging again, so yep, there you go. Do you unironically have an Eladin's Ward on an Ironman? That's crazy, bro. Dude, it's so free. Your setup, you're so in. BCP is perfectly fine though, Lieutenant Potato. You're fine. You're big chillin'. Check Ram Helm, it has 62, 67. That's okay though. I mean, it's still good though. I assume Varric Helm is your next downgrade. Not far off. Hmm. I'll just kill it. It's easier. Blob is easy. If this is a ranger, I would Degenerate freeze it. I do not know how to stack up bloblets. Stamina isn't necessary. I only bring it because I'm lugging around a whole Din's Bulwark. It probably still isn't necessary. Eric. I am actually weight capped with this setup. But yeah, like, if I didn't bring Dins, I don't need it. I'm just trying out Dins for funny stuff. Rare uses of actual degeneracy. It probably still isn't necessary. Din spec Waystart. That's gotta be worse than Barrage, right? I don't think I can even hit like higher than my barrages. Probably answered this a lot, but why Torva instead of Volt Justy? Yeah, it's a negative mage. Congo, if you can afford everything else but not the Torva, use Bandos Chestplate and Verax Skirt. It's very competitive. It's actually not far off at all. So you can go down 400 mil for free there. Pretty much free. But I wouldn't downgrade the mage stuff if you can help it. The mage stuff is like, the treads don't matter too much. You can use Echo Boots, but like the ward, the ring, conflictions, obviously, those are the big pieces. You really don't want to drop those. It is, and obviously the shadow in Virtus, at least. Shadow is big. Shadow is big because it essentially saves you like 2 inventory slots. Not having to bring a 5-way Bofa with Anguish and Raging Pot, you just bring a 4-way, and you're already potted up. But if you have no choice, then yeah, obviously you would use Bofa. And go down 2 inventory spaces. Masaurian T-Bow in place of Ancestral, and it's just as good, yeah. Pretty much. You actually have a stronger setup for Zuck than the Mage setup. The only thing I would say about the T-Bow setup is you'll have to bring the range pots, so it's still kind of like an inventory tax, but it kind of makes up for it because it's stronger for Zuck. You know, that obviously makes up for it. I think they'll nerf this setup in some way. I'm kind of doubting it. Because, like, you can make it so, like, plate armor doesn't work, but that doesn't fix the other problems. People are still AFKing Kriara with it, and they don't use plate armor, so it's not going to fix that. The easiest possible fix is, like, hey, let's just make it not work if you're below 100 mage. Because then people could still get very tanky. But they wouldn't be able to get to points of AFKing like this. The problem is, like, they can't power creep melee as well then. Ain't no way I just insta-froze this guy. Think I can bring 1 range pot? I would highly recommend you bring at least 1 range pot. Yeah. I think Divine is worth bringing. 1 Divine. Because you can use it at the start of Jad. I'm going to assume you don't mess up your Jads and you're going to Blood Barrage off the healers. Are people AFKing Kriara? They put on full Masori. And I think they use Ellie for that one. But Ward is fine too. and they protect range, and they auto-retaliate. And yeah, it works. They unironically auto-retaliate and AFK for like 5 minutes. Over Dam Scepter, yeah. Dammrins is actually good if you have Mage armor, because it's actually pretty accurate. Why did I freeze him? Who knows? Does he do another range attack there? Oh, this is gonna hurt. Ouch. The melee digs, we have a bit of a problem. Let me heal above. There are no problems in bossing, say. Huge? Huge! 21. What's it Dins for? Very rarely, if I just need to AFK at a pillar waiting for something to get closer, it's nice there. Think this will get patched? I'll be honest, Nathaniel, I cannot say yes or no. I'm going to guess no, and I hope it's no. Because it's an expensive setup, and it's still somewhat debatable whether it's like... Okay, it's not... In my opinion, is not really debatable. Like, this setup is just strictly overpowered, and if someone actually learned with this setup, as in, like, they brought this setup and decided to learn the Inferno mechanics correctly, they're pretty much invincible. But here's the thing. How many people do you know are actually going to take the Inferno seriously and learn while wearing this setup? I'm going to guess not that many people. Right? Like, you're doing this so you can just, like, head empty and just pray Mage on the whole blob. Using a curse for Zuck? Yeah, just for Zuck. Theoretically, if you brought the same player who's using a Bofa and Blowpipe and doing the waves correctly, and you put them on this setup, they should pretty much do better, right? But the thing is, not many people are going to be using this setup and to play better. They're doing it so they can brute force specifically. And it's expensive, you know, like, it's a very expensive setup. Very fragile. You can only downgrade one or two, like, one piece when it comes to the Mage. And that really, like, makes it not as abhorrent. It's kind of... It is easy to patch, but I don't think they would. I think people get mad. I think too many people would get mad. One piece. Reddit already did a good job thinking this doesn't need a nerf. Like, I think we're fine. Enough people think that it doesn't need a nerf that I don't think it'll get a nerf. By the way, I just fully face tanked 2 blobs. Don't give a fuck. Also, you know that short that No Monkey released about him tanking? That one was really egregious. He tanked 2 blobs for like 20 hits, if not more. And people think it wasn't that overpowered. And it was like really overpowered in that clip. Because the short cut off the time where, you know, he tanked like 20 blob hits, just AFKing a mage to death while wearing full melee armor. It was like really bad, dude. People don't understand how egregious that clip was, because the short can only capture so much. Yeah, and it's not that many pieces of content. It does. Leaving gauntlets unnerfed fucks over all of God Wars, but I don't think anyone cares about God Wars. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think anyone cares about God Wars. People would be really mad if Confliction got nerfed. Punishing players for finding creative ways to complete content's kind of scummy. I see where you're going with that, but you're also like, RuneScape is all about maintaining like the prestige of the accomplishment at the same time. When you remove too much prestige, then it becomes a problem. Like, for sure, I expect Inferno to continually get easier and easier over the years. I think that's a fair assumption. But when there's like a huge jump to where you don't need to play the game, it's like, ooh. There needs to be some sort of step up past Inferno so that the prestige can be maintained, if that makes sense. Like, if they're going to get to a point where Inferno is AFKable, then they need to make a boss that is equivalent difficulty and fairness and whatever design to what Inferno was when it released in 2017 or whatever when it released. But obviously, I don't think Inferno 3 or Inferno 2, Blue Inferno, whatever you want to call it, is going to come out for a while. So yeah, if anything, you could take it as maybe they shouldn't nerf it. They should make content where they should make another piece of content ASAP where this isn't as broken. And they could also, if they wanted to just do a quick pass through of every single mob here, add 20 mage defense to everybody. But that seems kind of cheap. They could do that though. Isn't that what Blorva, Radiant Oakplay, and Deep Delving's for? Yeah. But Inferno still has a really good place at being like, you know, important content. Important endgame content. Also, Confliction Gauntlets completely, they definitely made Radiant easier as well, don't forget that. A lot. Radiant got way easier because of Conflictions as well. Because you just have like a massive boost in DPS compared to before. Yes, I don't think many people are afraid of Zuck. Until they get there themselves, they're not afraid. It's all about the nerves. Same thing for Jad. People aren't afraid of Jad. The idea that they're losing 2 hours of stressful waves to Zuck is scarier than Zuck. Power creep in one patch? Well, there's always been a slow power creep from the Inferno. Missouri, it was insane power creep compared to Armadillo. But to the point where you can like ignore blobs for the entirety is kind of crazy. Oh, talking Radiance? Yeah, Radiant was... There's something that really bothers me about Confliction Gauntlets for Yama specifically. Is that they pitched Yama as this, oh, you can mage it if you're a noob, and if you're, you know, like a sweaty elitist, you can learn to 3-tick Godfly melee, and we think that's a satisfying gameplay loop for you to get into. And then guess what? 2 months later, they throw that out the window by adding Confliction Gauntlets. I don't understand. That one I really don't understand. So why did I waste all my time learning 3-tick Godflying when they're just gonna add Confliction Gauntlets and make it like not really worth it to learn on any of that? Mage better now? I think melee is like a few percent better rather than like 20% better. Like 5% or like, you know, it needs to be very worth it to do. Although Robofly might have changed it. 5 to 10% better, yeah. I think maybe if you Robofly, it's like 12% better. If you do the chase deck, where you Scorching Bow him, so that you can always Godfly. But still, like, regular 3-tick is probably only like 7% better. It used to be like over 20% better. Or 20% better, I think. Well, we're talking base Yama, of course. Not many people melee the contracts. I'm not waiting. Chat, do I do this for my first game? You can. Remember what No Monkey said. You will be ruining all the enjoyment of learning properly. Then again, you might not care. Oh no, I am wearing full melee armor. You still shadow Yama, or is purging better now with gauntlets? If you have max melee, Emberlight's still a little bit better, but it's not as much better. Honestly, it's not worth the time investment, is the problem. You can do like 2,000 kills with melee, and it probably isn't worth the time investment. That kind of sickens me. The Dinning Bee. It's kind of nice there, actually. So I can rotate to this. The Dinning Bee on. This is so dumb. Look, don't hate. Don't hate, okay? No hate. Oh, do you shadow? No, the passive doesn't work on that. I think Purging Staff is... I'm pretty sure Purging Staff is better than Shadow now, by the way. Or Yama. Damn. I kinda messed up. Why am I praying? Why would I even ask that question? Of course I know why I'm praying Mage. It's the only thing that's scary. It would be nicer to learn Inferno once you have a Slayer task. Are you really learning if you're one-shotting everything with a Slayer task? I don't know. I'll play the game properly for this one. It's actually less work to play the game properly and just safe spot him. I'm going for the lowest APM. No, not just for Slayer tasks, there's less pressure for you to learn Inferno when you already have the cape. Yeah, I guess that's true too, less mental pressure. That's respectable, actually. How important is ward for the setup? It's pretty important unless you have like Avernic Treads. If you have Avernic Treads, you can downgrade the shield. Like, there are some very important thresholds you want to reach, Peanuts. And it's kind of hard to reach them without, like, ward or treads. You can miss, like, one item. Like, you can miss treads. You can miss ring. Or you can miss ward, but you can't miss multiple. Like, you can't miss boots and ward. Unless you're willing to get way less tankier, which, you know, defeats the purpose of the setup. Is to be, like, crazy tanky. But yeah, like, if you use, like, a Virtus bottom, for example, and I camped it, or Ancestral bottom, then I can, like, miss probably, like, 3 Mage items. But I won't be as tanky, so... Oh, is a regular fine? You can't use a regular ward? You can absolutely use, You can absolutely use a Arcane, but regular ward has, like, no defenses. The Arcane portion of the ward actually matters more than the ward. Because it comes with defenses, and doesn't come with negative mage. Thoughts on Slayer Helm on this kind of setup? If you're on task, obviously, but I would not use Slayer Helm unless you're on task. Is this setup better than max range? Not if you're going for DPS or speeds, or playing the game properly. The setup is built so that you can get the most effectiveness out of not playing the game. Or barely playing the game. You're running Mages? Yeah. For reference, right now, with the full tank setup, we have plus 80 Mage offense. If you're going to drop below 6, I would say 50, I wouldn't really run the setup. You would have to find some other compromises. Like this, that was disgusting how I can freeze in this and just chill here. Like this is what really makes the build disgusting. I'm gonna just do one flick here and then hold this. Maybe I put on the Ancestral too fast for the blob there. It could have been spooky. I wasn't keeping track of when the blob was hitting. Inferno PB in general, 64 minutes. I think that's from like 2018 though. Back when Armadillo and our assembler was our BRS. I'll just wait for this guy to dig. No rush. What about an Ancient Wyvern Shield? I don't think the Ancient Wyvern Shield has good range defense, Rogi. You're looking to min-max range defense, and ideally have a little bit of slash. Alright. You guys want to see a Degenerate solve? Well, this one actually I can just do a small flick. I just need to have 2 prayers. There you go. Now we can go back to not playing the game. Oh my, 31. Oh, that's so juicy. 31 prayer points just like that. Corp isn't too bad these days. I don't know, Corp sounds ass. Yo, fuck it, we go south. Let's do it. Brain, non-functional. What the fuck? Just nuked everything. Yeah, that seems balanced. Alright. How important is the Royal Titan Prayer? You can use like all the whatever pyramid was before it. Can't remember. It just speeds up the waves a lot to have. You can also flick Augury, of course. That is also fine. But I would prefer not to flick. I'm curious to see what budget setup you can pull for similar effectiveness. This was never meant to be... The thing was, the setup was never meant to be a budget-friendly setup, Rogi. I can absolutely just add in a little bit of flicking, and that'll let me bank the shadow. But there's a lot of criteria that we would be throwing away. Do I just stat check this guy? Oh, I should be in melee distance so he punches me. I just killed him, whatever. Like, if I flick, yes, I can drop the shadow, and instantly the setup is a bill cheaper. I can flick against blobs, and instantly the setup does not need to be as tanky. It just needs to have enough tankiness to provide leeway. The problem is then I'm starting to play the game, and I'm starting to flick. And if you want to meet the criteria of both, you need money. There's no budget setup that does everything. So, I don't know. The most effective thing I could do is... I think the most effective thing I could do to retain not playing the game is to do a few lazy flicks when I'm 1v1ing mobs. And that's it. Like, that's probably the best thing I could do. Because then you can still be as tanky, and you just need to flick for, like, a few mobs. I think lazy flicking a few prayers is probably easier than playing the game and actually doing the mechanics, but then again, a lot of people are comfortable with blobs, but they may not be comfortable with, like, you know, getting, like, one shot, like, for, like, a mistake. So probably having, like, just, like, a Virtus bottom still gives you, like, enough comfortability. It's fine. Why don't you use Augury? It's actually not much of a DPS increase. I think the Confliction Gauntlets are going to get nerfed. I don't think they will, actually. I use Augury for the defense. Actually, not for the... I used Augury when I think that the defense is going to matter, essentially. I don't use it for the damage. The damage is relevant. The curse stack right here. It's like a normal-ass triangle. You guys want to see something cursed? I'm gonna do something a little bit cursed right now. So we are gonna play the game slightly because I think this is the easiest way for low APM. I'm gonna run out here. I'm gonna pray Mage. I'm gonna freeze the Major. And I'll go back. Wait. Why did I not take a Mage hit there? Alright. So now that he's stuck, he cannot stop me from 1v1ing this guy. We are being extremely criminal right now. Okay, okay. Hear me out, hear me out. So that's done, right? Now we're gonna do the same thing. But we're gonna freeze the front one this time. Oh, I am such a degenerate human being. The inner machinations of my mind are in an enigma. Disgusting. Disgusting human behavior right here. Or is Masori Bipu? They're not similar setups at all. One is strictly Giga Cheese, and the other setup involves you having to play the game, and is way better DPS. Like Masori Blowpipe, T-Bow, DPS is much, much better. But there's like a ratio of tankiness, which is kind of crazy. Like, this setup is crazy tanky. This one's degenerate. This is a degenerate solve. Look at him. He's powerless. He's trying to protect his major friend, but he can't do it. Alright. It actually works front and back. I can't believe it. What? I splashed! I'm in full ancestral. Does the snake help? No, the snake is... Snake is not helping. I want to kill the Major first. I know you guys love the funny souls. The funny souls that make no sense. What did he do to me? I don't know, but... Can't stop me now. Ah! Spared. Humble. Why does IX work so well with melee gear? That is a good question, isn't it? You know, it works so well that you can be maging a major with 300 mage, and I'm still over 50% accurate. It's kind of disgusting. Should you? No. Which is why we bring... The funny thing is, even if I bring just a mage top, it becomes, like, extremely good. But, yeah, that's why we bring the shadow. Like, you can get through waves by doing this exact setup, no shadow, just bringing, like, a blue moon top for the major, and you're chilling. But you also need the Bofa for Zuck, Unfortunato. But it is kind of cool, because if you have, like, Heart, then you can be pot up for all the waves. Bandos acceptable as tank. Bandos top. Tacit's is decent, but Varric's skirt is a little bit better. I brewed a lot more in this setup than I normally do, but whatever, it's fine. We did bring 2 meme items. I don't even remember where I used the Dins, but I think I used it like 3 times. Let me see if I don't need the stamina for Zuck. I don't think I do. Even with the Bulwark. But I wasn't sure because the Bulwark is heavy. Ellie or Arcane if you have Avernic Treads? I think Ellie is better if you have Treads and Torva. Or even Bandos is probably fine too. Don't do it. Don't res him. Don't res him. Don't res him. I'm begging. I beg. Don't do it. Let's go. I think Ellie is a little bit better. If you're not doing pillarless, Ellie's probably a little bit better. Why Torva over Justy Mage bonus? Yes, you got it. Just drop the Bulwark on the ground. Can I prop it up? Can I prop up the Bulwark? Like, just have it as a Zuck shield. Got to wave 64 today and yesterday and died. You'll get it next time, man. Don't worry. You have obtained skills on the way there. At least I hope so. Can full Justiciar work? If you replace your Torva, it's 51 magic attack bonus. Yeah, that's fine. But the problem is, full Justy works, but you lose 30, and you do gain, like, I think 20% tankiness. So it's fine. Like, it's a sensitive setup, though. Just be aware of that. You know, like, if you downgrade Treads, then you can't. If you downgrade Treads, Fortified Ward, and all that stuff, then it's not worth. I wonder if, now that I think about it, that means Justiciar is probably just better than Ellie, right? Like, if you're full max, and you're looking for a very specific downgrade, then yeah, I think full Justy is probably better than Ellie. Because I think you are tankier, while losing roughly around the same. Because Justy's guaranteed to protect you for like 20% damage, I think, or close to 20% damage, and Ellie is a chance at. Ellie on average is 15, right? I think. I don't know. What is Ellie defense reduction? On average, 15. But he's theory crafting doing triples. Dude, triples are chill. Full Mage and Justiciar would be better than Ellie, yeah. If you're looking for the 50 HP CA, I think I would rather do Justiciar, now that I'm thinking about it like in depth. Set effect in Justy doesn't work? You sure about that? You're capping. There's no way they disabled Justy for Inferno specifically. I don't believe that. Not for a second. Have you tried this on Slayer tasks? No, I have not, but it probably would be crazy. Because you wouldn't even... You actually would be able to downgrade if you're on task. There's no way that Justy is like disabled specifically for Inferno. You know how much of an outrage that would have cost? I want to see if I can keep the Bulwark in the setup. I kind of want to heal off these guys because it's gonna be a while before I can brew. Wait, am I in melee distance? I am in melee distance. Oops. I should probably change my NPC indicators from gray in this place. It's kind of spooky. Why does Ayak work so well in full melee gear? I'm so sorry, I never answered your question, now that I think about it. But essentially, Confliction Gauntlets make it allowed to be good. It adds a lot of like base accuracy that you normally wouldn't get. To be clear, Reynolds, the key to this components to strat are Shadow, Ward Gauntlets, and melee armor. Ward, Confliction Gauntlets, 100% ward, and basically a passable level of Mage bonus. Once you have the Confliction Gauntlets, it's actually not much relevancy on the rest of the gear. The only thing about the more Mage bonus you can fit in, the more you can wear like actual tank armor. That's how you should be seeing it. Right, let's see if I need the stamina or not. I use one and Shadow both on long range, yeah. I do have to be kind of careful here. I'll use Augury. So the wand actually doesn't reach from there to the ranger. Why am I so shaky if it's you playing? Dude, Inferno gets a lot of people nervous. It's understandable. I guess since I have nothing else to do with my spec, I should double Ayak when I get it. Can I use the Mage tank loadout for the Coliseum? I have not tried it, but I assume it's not as good as Melee. The really nice thing about Melee for Coliseum is that you already bring a setup into Soul, so that you can not flick, if that makes sense. Like, you're already in Melee gear for Soul, and it's kind of nice being already a Melee tank. But probably for the waves, it's fine, and it's probably generous enough to be passable. Augury matters probably quite a bit for this guy. I feel like I can notice the difference. You think the setup is free for the 50 HP CA task? I think so, yeah. You do this on task and you wear this setup with an Ellie, you're big chillin'. Or sorry, just this year. I'm half run. I don't know if it matters to have a stam. How the fuck did I do that much IAC damage? No Forgotten Brew. I need to remember to stick close to the shield when it procs. Why am I procking over here? I might be the dumbest player in existence. This is a terrible place to proc. Okay, definitely don't need the stamina. Am I gonna have to actually play the game? I might actually have to play the game. I really don't want to play the game. But I think I have to play the game. I'm not too familiar with off-taking this range. I'm just gonna wing it. If I need to. My DPS seems kind of broken though. Okay, so I definitely don't need the stamina. Good to know. I thought I would need it, but I guess I could just walk the very end. Alright, you know lucky? You lucky? No. No. I wonder why I was so low on prayer compared to the other runs. Was it because it was longer? I don't think so. Maybe it's just Eldritch RNG. It's probably just Eldritch RNG. So I don't need this. Honestly, I like barely use this, but it was nice. I kind of like having the Dins actually. It's kind of nicer, like random rotations to the other side of the pillar. I'll keep that. And then... Oh, I sipped so much brew during the waves, I forgot. That's probably fine. We see a full Justy run, it's probably the same thing, right? 51 still. Quite a bit of DPS loss. No range change. The prayer must be a lot easier then. I probably won't be able to freeze Meliors that often. Probably will have to go to the second freeze a lot more often. I'll use Torva over just this year. Because Torva has a lot less negative mage. So you see like the range here? Still 378. But look at the mage. The mage goes up 29. So this is like the best ratio that you're going to get. Let me just see something. I'm not sure if it's worth. It's probably fine to use full Justy if you're full max, like Ward and Treads. Let me see what the difference is versus Ellie. I think Ellie puts you to around the same. So it was this 55 versus 51. Prayer bonus is 16 with 15 with this, 22 with this. I feel like this is a no-brainer. I think you would rather use Justy rather than Ellie, actually. You get way more prayer bonus, and you get this a guaranteed set effect. if you're in full max, like if you have treads and Magus and ward, I think you'd rather use Justy. But your DPS would be considerably lower. You are tanky. Oh no, we're so back. We had the Dins and Justy. Kodai is 12. True, but you don't really use Kodai for DPS. You use Kodai for healing and freezing. And for freezing, you can just freeze an Ayak. Nev, if you want to see something interesting, if you're looking... Because I manual cast a freeze anyway. If you freeze an Ayak, it's actually better than Kodai. I felt like that run, that run had near zero value. Yeah, I didn't really use it that often. I think I used it like 3 times. Okay guys, thank you guys for watching. I am gonna go to bed. It is time to be a responsible human adult for work. And yeah, thank you very much. I'll probably stream tomorrow though. Not sure when. Depends. Who knows? Thank you guys. Have a good night. Actually, let me raid someone. I'm gonna go ahead and raid. Let's see. Let's raid. Wait, there's no monkey. We'll raid him. You guys are going to no monkey. Good night. I'll probably lurk in the stream while I go to bed, but